Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadashivam once again with you. And in today's video, we are going to talk about a very important topic for managers and leaders. And the subject is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is absolutely not a new term for us. We know what this word is. We know how much important it is, especially in the role of a leader. But today we are going to deep dive into it because initially when I explored this subject, I also had a feeling that I know the subject quite well. But when I deep dive into the subject on the book of Daniel Goleman, who is the authority on the subject, that was when I felt that even though we know a lot of things, the structure in which he had designed that book, and that book is Emotional Intelligence. Millions and millions of copies sold, and guys, millions of copies do not get sold just like that, right? Such an important concept, and let me tell you, approximately it is 415 pages or so, right? I don't know which edition that was. I went through the entire book, and I know that in this hustle bustle of corporate life, most do not have the time to go through a 415 page book. We are trainers, but we do all the time. I have gone through the whole book, and I thought I will come up with a series of video lectures like this in an easy and understandable manner, and I have engaged my graphic designer, content team to create images and footages so that the comprehension of this subject becomes a lot easier, and we will be coming up with lots and lots of videos on this important subject, and planning to put up somewhere around 16 videos what we have planned at this point of time, and let's see how things pan out in the days and months to come, right? So before we explore the subject, we want to start with Aristotle, because that's how Daniel Goleman also starts his book, and he talks about Aristotle's challenge. Typically he talks about anger, right? This is Aristotle. At the core of any emotional intelligence process is how you control your anger. There's no separate lesson, but at the core it boils down to what extent we guys are able to keep ourselves in control, and one of that aspects is anger. Now, getting angry is very easy. Nobody needs to teach you how to get angry or how to get angry, because that's the easiest thing one can do. But what is most difficult? To be angry at the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right manner. Striking this balance is extremely difficult, okay guys? So that's just an introduction, and we will explore this subject in bits and pieces. We'll be peeling off all these concepts like we peel layers in an onion, and video after videos we will be decluttering the whole concept about emotional intelligence, and that's going to be my objective, right? Now I'm going to provide you a scene one. This scene is happening at Madison Avenue in New York, because this is the same example that Daniel Goleman had given. But in the subsequent chapters, I won't be giving the same examples Daniel Goleman had given. We will be creating our own examples, some examples around our country, because that will help clearer understanding. But for the first time, I would like to give this example, the same example that Daniel Goleman had given. He talks about a bus driver in Madison Avenue, which is in New York City, right? He talks about this driver. This driver, whenever he drives the bus, whenever a passenger comes, he makes them feel comfortable. He speaks to them. He talks to them about some of the places. Here is a theater. There is a drama going on. This was the place where, America was bombed in 9/11. And he talks couple of things. This is a new movie released in this theater. This was the place where Nixon came. Host of other things. Engages the people. When children are there, he makes fun of them. He will provide some chocolates. He will ask them few questions. The guy is cheerful all the time, right? Something very important happens. Because when this guy is cheerful, he radiates warmth and happiness around him. creates those vibrations, guys. He is so smiling that everybody who is within his vicinity, they all become cheerful and happy. And that's the power of being happy, because happiness spreads these vibrations. And over a period of time, when we talk about brain imaging techniques, where there are so many wires connected to your brain, because technology is advanced to such a level that today wires can be connected to your brain here, and little bit of what happens inside your brain, right? What happens in your brain? It's series of neurochemical reactions. These enzymes are released, and these enzymes have a direct effect on your behavior, actions, and it's absolutely scientific. And everything has been dissected to that level, and we will be looking at all those in the ensuing videos. But for now, so many brain imaging techniques have been developed, and people who have a very positive bent of mind, they emit gamma rays, guys. You can see those in those brain imaging techniques. So we will be talking a lot about that, because these are things which have a direct connection, a direct relevance as far as the subject of emotional intelligence is concerned, right? So we're just trying to make some sense of the senselessness that is prevailing in the world around us, right? We're going to talk a lot about that. Now we are going to talk about scene 2, right? I will be narrating 5 or 6 instances in the recent past. We have seen lots and lots of instances where children takes guns to school. There have been instances where students have shot their classmates. We're talking about children, small children, 13, 14-year-old children. That is happening. Second, we are seeing road rages that are happening. Road rage, where a small scratch on the bonnet and the fight ensures, and it goes to the point that somebody's head is broken. That's the level of road rage that is happening, right? Recently, in one of the WhatsApp videos, I witnessed a fight that happened in Egyptian Airlines aircraft. Highly decent families, but somewhere there was some altercations. Look at this video, how much this fight had turned into. Next, we are going to talk about some of the scenes in Parliament. Recently, I came across this video. Pandemonium happens because people don't agree with others' views. There is pandemonium. But here it's fist fight. Not one country, so many countries. It covers countries like Japan, right? Look at these. India, Japan, UK. We are talking about anger. It's not restricted to any specific country. We are all human beings, right? Look at what's happening in some of these scenes, guys. So what is the subject of emotional intelligence? Typically, when we talk about the subject of emotional intelligence, we are trying to make some sense out of this senselessness in this world. We're going to talk about brain imaging techniques, and these techniques didn't exist at one point of time, but now science and technology has made these things a lot easier, where you can go inside the reasons of your brain and understand what is happening, right? And what can be done from outside, so that we can have some control on the activities of our brain. Now, typically when we are talking about intelligence, we are going to talk about 2 quotients. One is the IQ, which is the intelligent quotient, and the second is the emotional quotient, which is EQ. These are not new to us. We all understand what is EQ. We all understand what is emotional quotient. As far as IQ is concerned, we know that it is genetic in nature. It is passed on from generation to generation. So probably if your dad is of a high IQ level, and of course the children will also have a high IQ, because all that is passed through the genes. So the amount of IQ a person has is largely decided while at birth, depending on the genetic lottery, because whenever you talk about lottery, it's a question of luck. You don't have any control on that, right? You don't have any control on who your dad is, who your mom is, right? That's what we are talking about. That is why we call it as a lottery. So as far as this IQ is concerned, it's part of the genetic lottery, because people are endowed with that genetic lottery. The second we are going to talk about is emotional intelligence. When you talk about emotional quotient, That is something one can learn over a period of time. One can learn, one can practice, implement, and then grow. That's what we are talking about. Emotional quotient, intelligent quotient, and emotional quotient. Now I'm going to give you a very small example. In our life, if you turn around and look at people whom you know, there are lots and lots of people with high EQs, but they've not done very well in life. Look at all these college professors. They're all highly intelligent people, intellectual people, very high IQ. But on the other hand, we have seen people who may not have a very high level of IQ, very moderate level of IQs, but those guys have done extremely well in life. They employ thousands and thousands of intelligent people. They're all school dropouts, but they go to high class institutes recruiting people. Here we are talking about emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is extremely important at high levels, especially people who lead organizations. We are talking about top honchos, we are talking about CEOs, we are talking about people in top leadership positions, top brass. Because the moment people reach to that level, for example, group of 10 people reaches that level, somebody is a director production, director finance, director R&D, director marketing, director strategy. You have all these directors nowadays. Each of these guys have reached that position. They're all highly qualified people. They all have high level of IQs. They're all from bright institutions like IITs, IIMs. They all have an excellent academic pedigree. Not just that, they have a record of accomplishment in their career journey, and which is why they have reached this position, guys. Therefore, your past experience, your qualification, your college, the marks, they're not going to matter much, because out of these 10 or 12 people, there is only one who can become a managing director. There is only one who is going to lead the company. And there, your qualification or any of these things we discussed about, your marks, your CGPS, they all cease to be a differentiator, right? There is only one differentiator, and that is emotional intelligence. And that is why emotional quotient becomes extremely important for aspiring CEOs. You can be in very high level positions today, but your existing qualification or the college in which you studied, Ivy League, that is not going to help you reach the MD's post. It has got nothing to do with your genetic mapping. It has got nothing to do with your genetic lottery. It is something that one has to voluntarily learn, and we are talking about emotional quotients, right? This is something which people learn from experience, make mistakes, learn from mistakes, and then incorporate those learnings in their future activities. So the central theme of emotional intelligence, we're going to talk about impulses, because impulses are a medium of emotions. Each one of us as human beings, we are at the mercy of impulses all the time. The guy who is able to control that impulse becomes a very successful person, right? I'm going to state certain things to you. First premise is we are all human beings. God has created each one of us in a certain manner. Each one of us are endowed by God, right, with certain qualities. I can't use these words endowed because God has put these things: lust, fear, pride, greed, jealousy, envy. These are things God has packaged into each and every one of us as human beings when we came into this earth. Let us look at a small example. After a long time, you meet one of your old friends, right? You are without a job. Assume that. And you find your friend who is in a very big position in a company. The first feeling you will get is a feeling of envy. Nobody can control that, guys. You might have been a topper in school. You might be thinking, I was a topper. I was a first grader. I had 9.9 CGPA. But this guy was a 7 CGPA, but today he is doing very well in life. He drives a Fortuner. So the first feeling you get in your mind is greed, and nobody in this world can stop that because everybody is born with that. God has given that into you. No guy can say, I don't have that feeling at all. Now the question is, what does emotional intelligence tell you? What does EQ tells you? Getting that feeling is completely natural, but What do you do after that? That is what is extremely important, and that is what emotional intelligence teaches you. Getting that feeling is natural, but your subsequent action, are you taking it in your stride and going with the flow? For example, let's look at another example. So you're going on the street, somebody bangs on your car. You're so angry, your headlight is broken. You're very, very angry. That feeling is extremely natural. Get out of the car. But then you find that there is a lady on the seat holding a child. She lost control. At such point, this guy says, okay, leave the headlight. I'll claim it from the insurance. Are you safe? Is your baby safe? Do you need any help from me? Would you want me to accompany you to the hospital? That is the reaction after the incidents. That is what is emotional intelligence we are talking about. Getting that anger when the car is banged is natural. But what you do after that is what is important. And emotional intelligence teaches you how to do that, and it plays a very, very important aspect on that particular thing. And we will be coming up with various videos on various aspects of emotional intelligence. We will be taking a structured approach. The whole thing will be divided into 5 different parts. The first will be about the discovery of the brain. We will be talking in detail about what this brain is. We will be going back millions and millions of years back. We will be talking about reptilian brains. We will be talking about mammalian brains, evolution. We will be talking about Charles Darwin. Don't worry, we will not do a biology class, but we will be touching on those aspects over a period of time, right? This evolution, your principles of natural selection, I'm sure all of you know that. We have Homo sapiens, and over a period of time, Neanderthals, and today we are fully evolved. Obviously, we can't say fully evolved, but we are better evolved compared with the earlier species. And we will be going through a complete journey on all these things, of course, in a simple language, reptilian brain, how it became a mammalian brain, and then the neocortex got formed, other areas were formed, the left side of the brain, right side of the brain. Then we will talk about cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. We will be touching upon them, don't worry, not the biology. So these things are required for us to understand brain, right? Because EQ is completely connected to brain and your impulses, everything comes from there, how you control your action, your behavior, we will be talking about that. So that will be the first part, human brain. In the second part, we will be talking about how to handle relationships. When you talk about relationships, it's not just relationship with one stakeholder, with multiple people, with your wife, with your children, your neighbors, your relatives, your own brothers and sisters. And then in the official atmosphere, you have a lot of relationship with your superiors, with your colleagues, with your subordinates, with other stakeholders, with your vendors, with your service providers, with other stakeholders, with the press. And we will be talking about this human aspect of relationship in part 2. In part 3, we will be talking about various attitudes. We will be talking about key differences. What is attitude? What is behavior? How our behaviors are shaped right when we were young. We will be talking about all that. And in part 4, we will be talking about various emotional lessons. Very interesting, very important. We will be talking about lots and lots of examples in terms of how people react to certain situations and how better would it have been if the reactions could have been different. And we will be talking about lots and lots of examples and case studies, because many a times these are very abstract in theory, and it's not advisable to explain the concept because that becomes stereotyped and boring, right? Because that's what I'm planning not to do. So what I will do is I will bring in lots and lots of case studies, stories that you can relate to, right? So the absorption of that concept becomes a lot easier, and what kind of the emotional learning lessons we have learned as children, as adolescents, as grown-up people, as professionals. So this is just an introduction video, and over a period of time we will be coming up all these videos, all these parts. And do subscribe to this video and press the notification bell so that whenever we come up with this kind of videos, you will start getting those videos. And I guess that if we go through all these videos, it is my hope that we will all become little more emotionally stable, because I'm sure each one of you can go through those 415 pages emotional quotient, emotional intelligence book by Daniel Goleman. Everyone can do that. But it takes a lot of time. I have taken the pain and strain of going through that book. I'm going to customize a lot of those examples in an easy, understandable language. My graphic designers are doing a great job, collecting pictures, images, footages, and bringing it in the form of a story. And I will also be telling it in the form of a story, so that it's both interesting to hear that. At the same time, there are valuable learnings from it, and you will all stand to get benefited. Okay guys, I hope you liked this video. Wait for the next series of videos. Press the subscribe button and press the notification button. We will be coming up with subsequent videos. I hope you liked this. And okay guys, this is Dr. Sadashivam signing off till we meet again. Jai Hind.